Today's guest is Tiffany Jones, CEO of Lime Technology, the company best known for Unraid, an operating system that lets people turn their own hardware into powerful home servers. Founded by her father, Tom Mortensen, Tiffany brings a unique perspective on where the company has been and, more importantly, where it's headed. We get into all of that and more on today's episode of Makes Remote Work. Let's take a look. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Makes Remote Work. Today, I'm joined by Tiffany Jones, CEO of Lime Technology, the makers of Unraid. We'll get into that in just a second. But Tiffany, thanks for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited for the conversation.
Yeah, same here. Let's just jump right into it. Can you give me a little bit of a quick snapshot of Unraid and Lime Technology, and what the company does, the team size, how it's structured, all of that stuff that comes along with the organization?
So, Lime Technology is the maker of Unraid OS. Unraid is an operating system that runs on people's home servers. And it's actually a product that my father created in 2005. And over the years, it's grown slowly but surely. There's been a huge community presence behind it to help my dad as a solopreneur kind of build this product over time. And it's really been in the last 7, 8 years that Unraid OS has really been growing pretty quickly. So it usually starts with someone who wants control over their data. They want to get off of the cloud. They're sick of paying subscriptions. They're sick of their data getting leaked, worrying about what might happen to it. They want it to be more accessible. There's a lot of tons of different use cases. Home automation, people are using it for locally hosted AI now. Literally hundreds, if not thousands, of use cases for Unraid. So if you go to unraid.net, you can check out what we do, what our features are, and what some of the use cases are there. So that's the product in a very, very quick nutshell.
Mhm.
Um, I came in to help my dad out with this company about 7 years ago and have transitioned into a full on CEO now of the company. He still is very much involved, but he's really focused on the product, which is his, special sauce and his main skill set. And so that's been really cool to work alongside my father and build this team up. The team has been remote since day one. So it was just him back in 2005, tinkering around and creating this product. But he has never, ever had like a headquarters or an office or anything like that. And so we were remote before it was kind of a thing, before it was the cool thing to do, or people were forced into it. Um, and so now it takes 25 people to run this company at this time. The majority of those people are full-time employees. And then there's a group of people who are contractors or fractional types of people. And so we're all over the world. We have people in Denmark and Portugal and the UK and Guatemala, all over the US. And it's a really fun crew to manage. And the way that we make remote work is we obviously love Rome. We use Rome. We got introduced about a year ago and have absolutely loved using it. And then we get together twice a year. And we just actually got back from Portugal. We were there for a week. We have another one coming up. We do spring and fall offsites. So that's really how we make sure that our team stays connected. And Rome actually really helps a lot with that as well.
A lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
So, with your father being, the founder of the company, did you say 2005? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
So, you've seen the evolution of the product, obviously, and the business grow, which is
Yeah.
awesome. One of the things I would love to like kind of understand, just because you weren't necessarily in the company in 2005, but you have seen it grow, and you had just mentioned that you've always been remote. That was a very different world in 2005, right? So, how have you seen the evolution of being a remote team grow and change over the years? I think that's pretty interesting. Like, what were the tools you were even using back then versus now?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, it was just a lot of email, a lot of DMs. So we had a forum that still stands today. Forums are, I know they're still out there and people use them a lot, but that was really a big place for us to even just connect with our users. But then in the background, it was emails and a chat system. For a while, we were using Discord, which was just a really easy, quick entry point to be DMing with our employees. And there was a project management tool that was like lightly being used in the team, but it was messy. And that was kind of my first foray into the business, was looking at the operations. That's kind of my background, is operations, project management. And I just realized how more complex processes were becoming and more organization that needed to happen. So that was kind of the first big thing. We moved us into a more formalized, more robust project management system. and then
Hmm.
starting to put guardrails around things. So one big part of our remote team culture is that if you have a request for someone, you have to go create a task for them in our PM software. You cannot put it like, you can talk about it in chat, but it is on you to go put it in there so that
Doesn't
no.
become official until it hits that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that test.
So
Yeah.
definitely some rules and processes and things needed to get put in place in sort of those early transition days from going from a smaller company to growing to where we are now and where we're going. And Rome was another big leap for us as well.
And and the other thing that kind of comes out of the remote culture a lot is meetings. How would you say your company handles meetings in general? Are you real time in the moment, come find me when you need me, or is there a lot of structure and time blocks on your calendar? I guess it changes by role, but how does it generally work at your team?
Yeah, so I'm super gnarly about meetings. Like, the beginning of this year, I pretty much had us delete every single meeting on the calendar. Literally, we cut it all and we built again from the ground up. And one of the things we're kind of experimenting with this year is, can we create a full company rhythm? So right now, what we have going is, the second half of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are kind of front loaded with meetings. And
Okay.
so we identified what are the recurring meetings that need to happen, and so we re-identified all of those meetings that need to happen. We dropped the ones that didn't. And then we're all different time zones, so that gets really special and tricky.
Sure.
So then we try to front load. Really, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the heavy company-wide meeting days so that the second half of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are all as much as possible deep work time. And I'm trying to build this discipline in our team. I literally just had this conversation an hour ago with my product director that's like, need to protect your heads down time. And if someone comes in and says, you're going to love this because this actually goes back to Rome, and said, hey, Eli, I really need to talk to you about this thing. And you're in the middle of something, you got to say no, but I know that you need a better answer than that. And he's been really liking his Rome link, his personalized calendar link. And I've
Hmm.
said to him, like, just say to them, hey, I can't talk right now. Here's my calendar link. Please schedule something with me. I'd love to chat with you when I'm available.
I mean, look, I talk to all of our customers on a routine basis, and sometimes, we pride ourselves on being available at all times. And like one of the best parts about Rome, honestly, is from a support perspective, the ability to pop in and help people. But
Yeah.
sometimes, it's I can't because I'm in a meeting or I have a meeting come up in 2 minutes and I can't really get there. The lobby link is great for that. Hey, here's my time. Super simple. It creates a Rome link. Come find me.
Hmm.
If it's the internal team members, also, lock your door. You're still in the office. I know you're there, you're doing stuff, but you're obviously heads down and busy
Mhm.
for whatever
That
reason.
nice little D&D little icon
Yeah.
there. It's a very polite way of saying, "Leave me alone for right now, please."
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, I hear that all the time. um, Now, when you joined the company, um, how did you go? Because you came into a company that your family had previously built. How did you go about building trust and credibility with the team? Like, did you know them already? Was this their first introduction to you? Did you start at like a different role and kind of ease your way in there? Like, how did that all come about?
Yeah, that's a funny question. So they knew about me. So what happened basically was that I was coming really into the prime of my career, and I was like, "What are you doing over there, dad? Like, what's up with Unraid?" I had been watching and seeing it, but not really paying attention from like a work kind of standpoint, career, getting involved kind of thing. And so we just started having conversations. And at that time, it didn't even have a logo. This logo you see, this branding, the
Yeah.
color gradient, everything you see did not exist. And that was like 2017.
So
So
not
that
that long ago in
yeah.
comparison to like when the company started.
Right, it was 12 years later, and so I said, "Hey, you gotta get a brand going. Let me bring you into where we're at so that I'm, like, in control of this and you can
Hmm.
trust," because it's a pretty big project to do that, and so that was my first introduction to the team that he had at that time, and it was only him and, like, 3 other people at that time, so it was very
Oh
small.
wow! So you've scaled up significantly since
Yes,
since
we
that
have.
time.
Yeah, we've
Got
grown
it.
by, like, almost 500% since I got in there. It's kinda
Wow,
crazy.
that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah. So I built a lot of trust with those guys through that process. And then once that hit and they saw the impact to our bottom line and to our sales, they were like, oh my gosh, like we maybe should have done this a while ago. And so I left and went freelancing. And my dad's like, hey, so you're freelancing now, huh? Can you just come take a look at what's going on over here? I'll just be one of your clients, just one of your clients. And I'm like, okay, I'll come take a look. And spiraled from there. And I
Yeah,
never left.
of course, that's how it goes.
I know.
Dad always has a plan.
I know, seriously.
uh, one last thing here before, we sort of wrap up, how do you maintain culture with people that you don't see, at least physically, on a daily basis? One of the nice things about being around for the last, 20 plus years is that usually there's a strong culture there. I'm just wondering how it is at your company and how you maintain it.
Yeah, and I'll actually bring this back to Rome, something we love doing. So we have a really good kind of onboarding program that we bring people through and make sure they feel really welcomed. And part of that is we show them within your office in Rome, you have a shelf and you can
Hmm.
upload pictures and videos and links and all kinds of cool stuff. And so as part of their onboarding, we ask them to set that shelf up. And then once a month, we have a monthly town hall, and we always pick someone. Usually it's the new guy or gal. And we all go do an office tour of their office. And it's
I
so
love
cute
that.
because we'll be in our meeting, we'll do our normal town hall, and it'll be at the end. And then we all go, okay, we're going to go to Christian's office. And so all of a sudden, there's this big migration of everybody in Rome from like the meeting room to their office. There's all these knocks. We're letting everybody in. And then there's always the inevitable joke of like, "Man, it's crowded in this office."
Yep, yep, of course.
Uh,
Classic Rome pun.
I know, it's hilarious. And so then we have the new hire go point by point of what's on their shelf and explain to us why they put this movie up here, what this book means to them. Oh, this is a picture of their nephew. And it is so much fun, and it's like such a great way to get to know someone else, especially if they're in a different department, that you're not really going to work with much. This one thing brings that person right into the team, and we've loved doing that. It's a really fun little
I
aspect.
love hearing that. And, I tell teams that when we do their onboardings, like the shelf is a great way to get to know your coworkers. You
Mhm.
can learn a lot about somebody by taking a look at their shelf in
Yeah,
5 minutes, more so than you would 5 years on Zoom, right? There are things
yeah.
there that you're proud of. You want to show, you just mentioned like nephews, movies, sports
You
teams.
know?
Like you really get to know somebody pretty quickly. It's kind of cool. And people really do love it. I love to hear that that's how you're using it. That's awesome. Last question here. Real quick, speed round. Describe Rome in 3 words.
Ooh, okay. Unique, fun, and a one-stop shop. But
All
you can
right,
use
I love that.
hyphens, right? You can use hyphens for one-stop
Yeah,
shop. Yeah,
hyphens
that's one
hyphens
word.
count. Yeah, yeah, hyphens count. That was
Alright,
good.
cool.
Well, Tiffany, in the spirit of short meetings, we will call it there. Thank you so much for your time today.
Of
I know you're
course.
super busy. Thank you so much for jumping on here with me. For everybody else listening, if you are interested in more conversations like this, be sure to like and subscribe and tune in. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Have a wonderful day. I will talk to you in Rome.
Thanks so much, John.